Welcome, everybody, to this late edition of the Eric Avasar Show. I'm your host, here to talk about Virginia Tech playing Nebraska in the third place game of the Wooden Legacy Tournament. And I mentioned in the last edition on Virginia Tech basketball on how the Hokies have depth issues inside in the front court. Really, lack of size played a huge part in Virginia Tech losing its first game of the season against Texas Tech. However, that was less of a problem tonight as the Hokies came out on top, beating Nebraska by a 66 to 53 margin in Anaheim, finishing their swing in California with a 2-1 record. And this game was in large part a defensive struggle. Both teams only had two players finish in double figures, and Nebraska really did a good job early on of really stifling the Hokies, especially on the inside. The Hokies really couldn't seem to get the ball into the paint early on. Kadeem C was a non-factor in the 11 minutes that he played. However, this game was won by the glue guy, the junkyard dog, as Buzz Williams would say, our kind of guy, Zach Leday. Huge performance from him coming off the bench. Once again, he has come off the bench in every game this season, but it is a role in which he has excelled at. Unsurprisingly, finishing with 19 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and 3 blocks. You want to talk about a stat sheet stuffer. He was really the straw that stirred the drink and then some in this game. Very fairly efficient out there, going 7 of 18 from the field. He did miss all 3 of his three-point attempts and went only 5 of 9 from the free throw line. So not a perfect game by any stretch, but man, did he dictate the game, and he took the game to Nebraska. Now, a lot of people, interestingly enough, will probably remember Leday for the technical foul he committed late on that gave Nebraska a second win, if you will, another shot at perhaps closing the gap, which ultimately, of course, they did not do. He got called for a technical foul for yelling an expletive as he blocked a shot. The ref did not stand for it, and that gave Nebraska, like I said, another shot at getting back into the game late on. However, the Hokies held on. There were issues, you could say, with discipline, staying focused in this game. This is somewhat of nitpicking here, but there has been a problem the past couple of games with Seth Allen's passing. Allen, who finished with 9 points tonight, has great vision. He sees great passes, opportunities to, throw long bounce passes in between two defenders. The problem is when one of the two or both of them are able to get in the way in time. So perhaps sometimes Allen is underestimating his opposition. His ambitious passing oftentimes, it seems, leads to turnovers, and hopefully that will be rectified moving forward. However, you do not want to stifle the creativity of a kid like Seth Allen, who makes things happen not only through passing but with his driving ability. I mean, he is so good at getting the basket, sometimes when you least expect it. The other double scorer tonight was Ahmed Hill, a complete non-factor in the first half. Don't believe I'm pretty sure he did not even score a single point in the first half. However, he really came on in the second half, hit a huge three-pointer for the Hokies, went 5 of 6 from the free throw line, finishing with 12 points. So, Hill is a major X factor for this team. And Justin Robinson and Justin Bibbs each finished with 8 points. Justin Robinson really stepped up big time in the second half and leading the Hokies once again in minutes played with 37 minutes. He seems like he's turning into an Iron Man of sorts. So, there were times where I really thought Nebraska had a shot at winning this game, especially early on. They gave the Hokies some problems. Big credit to Ty Webster, who finished with 23 points And Ed Morrow gave the Hokies some problems on the interior. He had 13 points as well, but ultimately the Hokies came out on top. So Virginia Tech is now 5-1 on the season. Crucial non-conference game. The most important non-conference game left for the Hokies is the next one in the ACC Big Ten Challenge against Michigan on the road. After that, the Hokies play 6 consecutive home games and will not play on the road again for the remainder of 2016. So the last road test in non-conference play coming at Michigan, the Hokies' last chance at getting a resume win before ACC play begins. So with that, Hokies, I leave you with this, as always, for those who have passed and for those to come, reach for excellence.